A calm voice in the dark. Welcome to Black Background Lectures. Today we begin with one of the most important ideas Jim Rohn ever taught anyone in his long career as a speaker and philosopher of success. Time is more valuable than money. This simple truth changed Jim Rohn's life when he was just 25 years old, struggling to make ends meet on a farm boy's salary in Idaho. And it can change yours too, if you let it sink in deeply enough to alter how you live each day. Let me explain why this matters so much, and how Jim Rohn discovered it in the midst of his own personal crisis. You see, you can always get more money. You can work harder at your current job or find a better one that pays more. You can start a side business, perhaps something small like selling handmade goods online or offering a service to your neighbors. You can invest what little you have wisely, letting compound interest work its quiet magic over the years. You can sell things you no longer need, from old clothes to unused gadgets gathering dust in your garage. You can ask for a raise or learn a new skill that makes you indispensable at work. Money comes and money goes. It ebbs and flows like the seasons. But time only goes. It never comes back. Once today is finished, this very day you are living right now, no billionaire on earth, not Elon Musk, not Warren Buffett, not anyone with unlimited wealth, can buy one extra hour of it. Not for $1 million, not for a billion, not for all the gold in Fort Knox. Time is the one resource that levels the playing field between the richest person alive and you. Jim Rohn used to open almost every one of his seminars, and he spoke to millions over 4 decades with the same heartfelt line. I want to thank you for your money, but I especially want to thank you for your time, because you can get more money, but you cannot get more time. Think about that for a moment. Let it settle in. If a friend asks you for $50 to cover lunch, you can usually decide quickly. Maybe yes, maybe no, but it's not a heavy decision. We live in a wealthy country where opportunities to earn more abound. Money is replaceable. But if that same friend asks you for an entire Saturday, your only free day in a busy week, now you stop and think twice, 3 times. Because a day spent is a day gone forever. It is etched into the ledger of your life, unchangeable. At age 25, Jim Rohn was at rock bottom. He had dropped out of college after just 1 year, thinking he was smart enough to make it on his own. He got married young, started a family, and went to work doing what he thought was honest labor, but the bills piled up. He had purchased a little more than he could comfortably afford on credit, and the creditors started calling. "Hey, you told us the check was in the mail. What's the deal?" they would say. And Jim, the big talking farm boy with all the fancy promises to his new wife, was embarrassed, way behind on those promises, discouraged, wondering what to do next. Should he go back to school? 1 year of college looked pretty short on an application, and with a family it seemed impossible. Should he start his own business? He was short on money, too much month at the end of the money, as he liked to say. One evening, in the quiet desperation of that struggle, he sat down and asked himself a question that would change his entire life. If today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am planning to do today? He wrote that question down on a piece of paper and looked at it for a long time. It stared back at him like a mirror to his soul. Then he made a decision. He would start answering it honestly every single day without fail. Whenever the honest answer was no, for too many days in a row, say 3 or 4, he knew something had to change immediately. No more excuses. No more drifting. He began treating his hours like the precious, irreplaceable resource they are. He stopped wasting evenings slumped in front of the television, watching shows he didn't even like, just because it was easy. He stopped saying yes to every social invitation that drained his energy without giving anything back. He stopped spending hours with negative, small-thinking people who complained endlessly but never took action. He stopped majoring in minor things, those endless distractions that fill the day but leave the soul empty. Instead, he invested his time the way wealthy people invest money, carefully, deliberately, always for maximum long-term return. He read books, not just any books, but the classics on philosophy, success, and personal growth. He sought out mentors, people who had already walked the path he wanted to follow. He worked on himself harder than he worked on his job, understanding that his income would follow his personal development. 5 years later, at age 30, Jim Rohn was financially independent, earning a six-figure income, traveling the world and building a legacy that would inspire millions. All because he finally understood that time is the ultimate currency, the one thing you truly own, and the one thing you must spend wisely. Most people, sadly, treat time like it's infinite. They act as if there will always be another tomorrow to get it right. They postpone the important conversations, the deep reading, the exercise, the learning of that new skill. They fill their days with busy work that feels productive but isn't. But the truth is brutal and simple, as Jim Rohn often reminded his audiences. Every minute you spend is a minute of your life you will never get back. It is gone, etched into eternity. You can replace money with effort and opportunity. You can never replace time. It is the great equalizer. So here is the challenge Jim Rohn leaves for you. Guard your hours the way a miser guards his gold, only more fiercely, because gold can be earned again, but time cannot. Start tonight before you close your eyes and drift off to sleep. Ask yourself that life-changing question. If today were my last day, would I be happy with how I spent it? If the answer is no, make a small change tomorrow. One less hour of scrolling. One more hour of reading. One conversation that matters. Do that and watch how your life begins to transform. That is today's lecture. If you want tomorrow's lecture, subscribe. See you then.